out here in Penang, Malaysia, and this is probably only our maybe third or fourth time eating McDonald's in maybe the last 2 or 3 years, honestly, right? We've eaten McDonald's the last 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times, whatever I said, about 3 times, only since we've left the States. Like, that's, you know, within the last 2 or 3 years. So anyway, just because, you know, the McDonald's and the food in the States is just not real, man. You know, anyway, this is you know, Malaysian ringgit, right? The RM. So if you know anything about the conversion, you know, the Malaysian ringgit is 26 cents on their 1 ringgit. So my order came up to 55.80, right? That includes a 6% service tax. So what I got was, and this is 55.80 RM, right? Malaysian ringgit. So I got 9 piece nuggets, because my kids are, you know, more on the toddler side. They eat nuggets. We have some fries at home already. I got a large Big Mac, a large Sprite, large fry, the apple pie. Get my wife the spicy deluxe burger. She gets the iced mango peach, and a medium fry. Although it's not a lot, you know, you guys can kind of assume what this would cost in the States, right? I mean, essentially 2 big meals, right? That would be anywhere from 25 to 30 USD, if I'm not mistaken. And it could be a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the state you're in. So for essentially 2 orders, I paid $55.80, which on the conversion is $14 and some change, maybe $14.50 if I'm not mistaken. I'll put it on the screen. So $14.50, I think that would get me, you know, if I wanted a drink, that would maybe get me a decent meal, just myself. You know, like, I could probably, you know, the McDonald's really in the States, you know, I was living in Florida more recently. They don't really have a dollar menu for real anymore. You know, to get like 2 apple pies that I used to get for like 50, 75 cents 15, 20 years ago, I had to pay like $2 some change. You know, the dollar menu is really like a $2 menu, a $3 menu. So paying basically 14 USD for my whole family to eat. And yes, I got 2 little kids, so they don't eat as much as we do. But I couldn't pay $14 at McDonald's back in Florida for us to eat. You know, we would be paying $25 to $30 at least to get the same amount of stuff. So yeah, most of the screen is on this receipt because I just want you guys to just kind of like take this in. If you guys have no understanding of how conversion works and, you know, the cost difference, it's outstanding. So yeah, and I'm in, again, Malaysia, right? Which it's a little bit more expensive than Thailand. So if I got the same stuff in Thailand, I probably would pay only $10 to $11, you know, maybe 12 at the same amount of service tax. You know, so it's really crazy that, you know, we've cut our expenses, guys, like by 50 to 60%, man, on everything, including food. And since you know, I'm not single out here living abroad, you know, that means a lot. You know, what we pay basically month to month, you know, with travel or being, you know, based, you know, is considerably less. It's not as much as the mortgage that we had in the States. So I just want to share that information with you guys. You know, this is just one example out of the many, you know, as a means of cost or a means of savings, or a means of not having to work as hard to make ends meet, to pay the bills, to eat, to have shelter, things of that nature. It's really insane, you know. The gas out here, I'm going a little off topic, but gas out here, you know, is like essentially $1 to $1.50 per gallon, if that, on the U.S. conversion. So you make decent money, you know, that can hold some weight. Doesn't have to be a US based job. It could be a UK based job, an Australian based job, or a job based in Asia, as long as you're living outside of that company and you're making, you know, considerably, you know, 10 to 20% more than your cost of living. I mean, guys, it's doable. It's doable. So just wanted to share that. And